So here's a piece to life's puzzle I've been pondering. Let me ask you something. Why do we even have first shift, second shift, and third shifts in the workplace? And I mean, really, why? You got to think about it. The same company, the same building, the same work to be done. But instead of one team working together towards the same goal, we split everyone up, pit shifts against each other, and then wonder why morale is low and turnover is high. Well, what if that's just one of the most backward things we've just accepted? My name is Morgan. I'm not a business consultant, and I'm not even an HR expert. I'm just someone who has worked a lot of jobs, and I mean really worked, and paid attention to what happens to the people inside these systems. And all systems are good for is control, really. Work is just like war in a sense, because you're only as good as the person next to you. Together we stand, divided we fall. You know, I've job hopped most of my life, not because I couldn't commit. No. It's because staying too long in a workplace today means one of two things. You either conform or you wear a mask every single day. I refuse to wear the mask, and I think a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's not instability, that's integrity. And today, I want to talk about something I think most people have felt, but maybe never put into words. The way we structure work isn't working. Not for the employees, and honestly, not even for the companies. So, back to work shifts. You know, the idea behind splitting workers into shifts made sense once, when factories needed to run 24 hours and bodies needed to rest. And seriously, factories shouldn't be working 24 hours anyway. I mean, the equipment most of the time is already worn out. When do the machines get a break? You know, even the transformers, they had to recharge. But somewhere along the way, it became something else. It became competition, really. First shift blaming second shift, third shift cleaning up after second shift, you know, carrying resentment into their night before the work even starts. Nobody fully accountable, because nobody sees the whole picture, really. Now imagine this instead. One shift, all hands on deck. Everyone working at the same time towards the same goal, with full visibility into what needs to get done. I mean, no finger pointing, no, that was the other shift. Just one team, focus on the same page. Kicking work's put together. I mean, sounds like a win-win to me. Wouldn't that work for every industry? Probably not. But the principle, unity over division, that applies everywhere. You know, here's something else that gets under my skin. You know, we tie a person's value at work to their title or their role. But if you think about it, the people you've worked with in your life, the ones that actually kept things running, Were they always the ones with the fancy title? More often than not, the most valuable person in the workplace is the one nobody notices until they're gone. Value isn't a job description. Value is what a person brings. You know, their strengths, their consistency, their ability to do the thing that nobody else wants to do. A good supervisor's job isn't to manage paperwork. It's to actually know their people. Where does this person excel? Where do they struggle? How do I place them where they do the most good for the team and for themselves? That's not soft management, that's smart management. Now, let's talk about time and money, because that's really what this comes down to. You know, you give the company your time, they give you compensation. That's the deal. That's the exchange. But somewhere that exchange stopped being fair. Think about it this way. Every hour that you give to that company is an hour spent building someone else's castle, while your own sits unfinished. And the wages, in a lot of cases, they're designed just well enough to keep you coming back, but not well enough for there even to be a fair exchange. You know, overtime becomes expected, not optional. Policies are written to protect the company, not the worker. I mean, what happened to our policies and our boundaries, you know, the workers? Why should we have to compensate for the broken equipment that, companies are neglecting to fix? Truly, a worker is only as good as the equipment they have at their disposal. And when a company overextends itself or doesn't have the manpower, who pays that price? The workers, every time. But here's the thing. If overtime were truly optional, people would still choose it. Because, people can always use extra money. You don't have to force someone into extra hours. If the workplace actually treats them well. Here's what I really believe. When workers are content, they produce. When they feel valued, they stay. When policies benefit both sides, profits follow naturally. You don't have to squeeze people to get results. You just have to treat them like they matter. Because they do. I'm just one person with one perspective. I've worked enough jobs, I fell down, I got back up. And I watched enough people do the same to believe that there's got to be a better way to do this. So I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. What's one of the things a company did that made you feel valued? Or what's one of the policies that made you feel like just another number? Maybe you have a piece to life's puzzle and are in need of a different angle. Let's talk about it. We grow together. So if this made you think, or if this resonated even a little, hit like and subscribe, and come back for the next one. Life, just live it.